Hey friends, how are you guys doing? How are you holding up this winter? I wanted to do something fun with you all today and take you along with me thrifting. It's been a while since I've taken you guys with me, and then I thought it would be neat to not only explain what I look for while I thrift, but how I style thrifted items in my home. And as I tidy up my home today, I'm gonna show you some of my favorite thrifted pieces that I have scored over the years and how you can save so much money by thrifting. All right, so we are going to visit a couple of thrift stores today. You can tell Valentine's Day is around the corner. And I love actually looking at the Valentine's Day decor because sometimes you can find some really cute things, especially as a homeschool mom. I love looking for crafty type things that we can do together for Valentine's Day. So I like to check out the holiday section in thrift stores. But I thought it would be nice to kind of explain to you guys my strategy when I go thrifting. The thrift stores around me usually have a section in the front with items that they consider to be a little bit more valuable antiques. You can see this mirror is a little bit pricey at $6. So unfortunately you do pay a little bit more, but probably less than you would at an antique store or on Etsy, if that makes sense. So I always just like to check this section out. You never know if you'll find some valuable items that, you pay a little bit more for, but they're still really neat. And I always, of course, like to look through the furniture nice and slow. You never know if you're going to find a gem. And again, you want to look beyond just, what you see. Could it be painted? Could it be sanded? How could I use this maybe differently from the way I'm seeing it now? I could not believe these beautiful beds that the thrift store had. They were so affordable, and I wish I had more rooms in my house so I could have given them a new home, but they were both gorgeous. I could picture them in a guest room or a children's bedroom. Oh my goodness. These are the type of things that you find at thrift stores, and it blows my mind. You can add so much character to your space by incorporating one-of-a-kind items like this into your home. Of course, I'm always, like I said, checking out the artwork. You can always switch out the print if you're not a huge fan of it and just save the frame. This is something that a lot of my friends do. They simply download their own artwork, although this print was cute, isn't it? I really liked this one with the greens, and the red mat wasn't my favorite, but that could always be changed as well. I've painted mats actually in the past. But yes, I always like to check out the artwork section just to see if I can score any great prints or frames. And this one my sister was really considering. She thought the frame was so cool with the green. Isn't it neat? Of course, lamps. I've scored so many lamps at thrift stores over the years, and lamps are very expensive. Today I didn't have a lot of luck, but you could transform lamps. I have painted lamps in the past. I have a whole tutorial on my blog where I painted a lamp and I made it look very expensive, even though it was only $3. So that's always an option as well. I thought this shade was really cool. It was plastic though. If this had been glass, I would have probably grabbed this because it's such a fun shade for a light fixture. Isn't that neat? I love looking at the baskets, always at all the baskets in my home, which you're about to see as I take you throughout my home. All of the baskets in my home, most of them are thrifted. Some have been purchased at antique shops, but a lot of them were thrifted. I always like to look through the utensils as well in the kitchen section. I'm going to show you later on in this video all of the cool kitchen utensils I have purchased at thrift stores over the years. Now, we also went to Goodwill on this particular day. You can see it's snowing. And the thing that I like about Goodwill, you guys tell me, do you feel like their prices keep going higher and higher? I feel like they do. But one awesome thing about Goodwill is that they have a lot of brand new items that Target will donate to them for whatever reason. On this particular day, Goodwill had a lot of brand new Target items, including this really fun plaid ottoman. And you can see the clearance sticker was $50 at the store, but Goodwill was selling it for $30, which isn't awesome. It's not the best price for a thrift store, but I know this ottoman at full price was much, much more. So just showing you some examples, you can see here that they had a few throw blankets as well. You know, $6.99 for a throw blanket is actually a really great deal. A lot of times blankets at brand new at Target are $20, $30, $40, sometimes $50, $60 for these heavy knit blankets. So I thought those were some pretty good prices. One thing that I didn't get that I'm kind of regretting is this giant Voltsgraph bowl. It was $9.99, which I thought was a little high, but it was huge, you guys. Like, I think it's hard to tell really on camera how big it is. Let me show you, like, I'll put my hand over it. It was a massive bowl, and I know I couldn't fit it on my dining room shelves. And of course, here's just a few more items. I got some really nice, like, name brand shorts for my husband, which he was very excited about. And again, for just a couple of bucks, we really save so much money by doing it this way. All right, guys, so let's get the house tidied up. So I did the thrifting yesterday. And so the sweater that I'm wearing today is one of my thrift store sweaters. I did a load of laundry, no worries, last night. I washed all of the thrift store clothes that I grabbed, and I'm just so pleased with this sweater. It's nice and oversized, and it's so soft and comfy, and that's what I've been living in lately. We're actually under a winter storm advisory today, so it's been snowing like crazy, and I just need to get the house sort of tidied up, and I thought it would be fun as I do so to kind of share a few items that I have scored at thrift stores over the years, and hopefully it'll kind of, you know, encourage you guys to get out there and give thrifting a try. So we are upstairs in my bedroom, and obviously I'm making the bed, but there are just so many items. The one desk where I was doing my makeup was my grandfather's, so it's really just such a blessing that I have that. But on the other side, that little wash stand was a $15 thrift store find. We gave it a good sanding. You can find that blog post over on my blog if you'd like to see the before and after of that project. And it's just such a cute little wash stand that sits right next to the bed, and it's perfect. Now, I did end up grabbing the plaid ottoman that you saw at Goodwill. I thought maybe it would be cute up here in my bedroom, but now I'm unsure about it. You guys are gonna have to let me know. It's a little too tall maybe for the chairs, but I don't know. Maybe I have it too close to the chair. I'm also trying out some of the blankets that I purchased up here. This whole side of the room just needs some life. It really does. Like, I'm thinking maybe wallpaper on the lower half of the walls. I need a lamp over here. I'm still a little bit unsure about this like dry sink that's below the window. I love the piece itself, but I'm wondering if maybe this summer I could bleach it perhaps, or make it a little bit lighter. It's just a little bit on the orange side for me, so I don't know. We'll see about that, but you guys are gonna have to let me know. Sometimes it just takes me a while to think about these things and decide what I want to do. And I've just been loving all the floral wallpapers I've seen lately, so I thought maybe that or a floral curtain would be fun over here. Now, as I put some laundry away, there's a few more items here. The laundry baskets have all been thrifted over the years. And again, this is just like beauty in the mundane, right? Just taking something simple like a laundry basket that's normally plastic and switching it out for something with a bit more character. This dresser actually that you see here was given to us by Mike's grandmother, and I gave this dresser a makeover as well. So it used to be like really dark, sort of red, and I painted it and stripped the drawers, and now it's just a really cool piece. So not technically thrifted, it was free. A lot of the items that you see in my home are free. Like all of the wood beams that you see in my bedroom were free. A friend gave those to us from a barn that they were going to burn down. So lots of items like that for sure. But I thought I would share that piece with you. It's been a while. Now, my husband's dresser on the other side of the room, his dresser was a Facebook marketplace find, and you'll see a lot of items throughout my home here in this video that are Facebook marketplace finds. But I gave this whole dresser a makeover. I put new hardware on it. I painted it, and I think it was $20 or $25. It actually matches my grandmother's dresser, so the two go really well together. It's been a while since I've shown you my television situation. The mirror on the floor there was from Christmas, and I was kind of playing with the idea of hanging it upstairs. But that was a $4 thrift store find. But I don't know. I know it's been some time since I've shown you guys. This is just kind of a neat little trick. If you're new here and you're wanting to hide your television, what I did was just put these hooks on the wall, and then I hung an old rug to kind of look like a tapestry or a wall hanging to hide our television so I wouldn't have to look at it. I know people are always looking for clever ideas to hide their television, so I thought I would show that to you quickly. Now, as I make my way down the stairs to tidy up, there are so many things in this frame, oh my goodness, that have been thrifted. Probably my favorite ever is the little 3-tiered basket that you see in the entryway. That was $15 from a thrift store. It is something that so many people have asked about over the years, and I can't link it. It was just a thrift store find, and I'm just so unbelievably in love with it, and I wish I could find one similar, but it is what it is. And that's what's awesome about thrifting, right? Is that you find these one-of-a-kind pieces that nobody else will ever find. I mean, they could find them, but we use it, as you can see, for scarves and hats and mittens in the wintertime. People kind of plop stuff in there. Keys, wallets, things like that. I like to keep some flowers in the top portion. But that right there is one of my favorite thrift store items. Now, this little print that I have hanging here, I keep going back and forth. Can you guys see it right there next to the beam? When we originally installed the beadboard in this area, I wanted a sconce right there, and I still do. But I haven't found one that I absolutely love. We actually have the wires there. You'll see in a second when I take it off. We can hardwire a sconce there. But I have the art kind of hanging there for now until I figure out what sconce I want to put there. And I just want you guys to know that I struggle with design decisions just as much as the next person. Sometimes you go online and you're just frozen by all the options. So the print will stay there for now until I can figure that out. But that was gifted to me. That was a thrift store find gifted to me by a sweet YouTube subscriber, which is just so kind. She's such a sweetheart. So here is one of the pillows that I scored at the thrift store. I'm trying it here on the couch. I'm not sure if it's going to stay here, but I'm putting it here for now, and I think it looks pretty. It adds a pop of blue on the couch, which I really like. If I accent with any color, it's usually blue or green. So I think it works out really nicely here. And here, as I put these toys away, you can see the lamp that I was talking about behind me. That was the lamp that I gave a makeover to. So if you want to find that blog post, just go on my blog and search lamp makeover. It was $3, and the goal was to make it look like a $300 lamp. And I think I really was able to achieve a similar look. So keep an eye out for those thrift store lamps. It's really cool what types of things you can do to lamps and how you can paint them and make them look entirely different. Now, in my living room space, we years ago built the little cabinet above the fireplace to hide the television. Obviously, I'm not a huge fan of the big black box, so I'm always looking for ways to hide it. I have thought about, though, what do you guys think about the frame TVs? I know so many people have those. I think it would be really pretty to have artwork on display above the mantle instead of this cabinet, but they're pretty pricey. I know there's hacks and there's different DIY projects you can do to kind of make your own frame TV, but anyways, if you have one and you love it, let me know in the comments, because I go back and forth. The cabinet is really cool and it's unique to our home, but I don't know. Sometimes I think about those frame TVs. But all of the artwork you see behind me was all, most of it was either thrifted or found at antique shops, but I didn't spend over $20 on any of that artwork. And I know some of them are prints. I have friends that are really picky about that. They won't hang prints in their home. They'll only do original art pieces. But if you're on a budget, original artwork can be really expensive. So I'm just going through the books here. We've still got some Christmas books in this basket from Christmas time, so I'm trying to sort these all out. And then, so what I like to do is I have all my seasonal books organized in the sunroom, And so I'm just going to pull out all of the winter books that are perfect for this time of year. So you can see all of these books that I'm sharing with you guys. Literally, I got at thrift stores for 25 cents each. And, you know, it's just, it's hard for me to spend full price on a book. I really have to love it to spend full price because you can get such great books at thrift stores. And this is a cozy, beautiful time of year. Yes, it's cold, but I've really learned to embrace it. And I think having all these books that have to do with snow and wintertime, they really just brighten our day. So I love to have those there on hand so that we have books ready to read, especially, like I said, during quiet time in the afternoons. Now, moving on to the sunroom. So if you are new here, this space kind of serves as our music room / office. You can find all the tutorials over on my blog. I painted this piano. It was free. We built the shelves and the built-in bench underneath the window. Most of the little items that you see on those shelves were thrifted. The pillows were actually very affordable, $6 pillowcases on Etsy. But this is just a really awesome space. We're so thankful for it in the small home that we have because my husband is actually an assistant pastor. So he does a lot of his studying at home. He likes to close the doors, and you can see here that the desk area gets just a little bit messy, but I'm thankful that it's kind of out of sight from the living room space. So we all contribute to the mess a little bit. I've got some camera equipment. My boys have been recording videos and editing videos lately, so they've got some camera equipment. There's, of course, guitars, you know, in here. The boys are trying to learn guitar. My husband's studying materials. But as I tidy all this up, I just wanted to share that a lot of these items are thrifted that you see here. The apron, the little basket with the flowers was thrifted. So, and this entire built-in situation, actually, the desk and the file cabinet were given to us, and my husband built them into the wall, and we painted it all one color. You can find that whole tutorial over on my blog, but lots of money-saving projects in this space for sure. But I am thankful for this room. I'm thankful that my husband is able to work in this space and kind of still be at home, even though he is working. And it's always nice to be able to tidy it up for him. And I'm laughing in this frame because he walked in and saw me cleaning it all up. But he really is, I have to say, he really is very neat, and he likes things tidy as well. And I'm really thankful for him, and I'm sure he's going to be thankful when he studies in here this afternoon. But that is the sunroom. So moving on here to the dining room space. Now, we are using a belt to connect the chair to the table because my son tips the chair backwards. Isaiah does. And you know what? That was what we came up with. So it's kind of a funny thing. We always laugh about it when guests come over. What's up with the belt? Well, you know, our son has whacked his head one too many times. So that's what that's about. But the table in here my husband built, I don't have a blog post about it, and I think I need to write one because people often ask about it. But the chairs were all Facebook Marketplace finds. You can find, I have videos about those chairs and what they've kind of gone through. I eventually ended up stripping them after painting them. It's a long story, but I do want to share a few fun thrift store finds with you. First of all, I recently grabbed this ironstone platter. How cool is this? And it was just $1. So that was a awesome thrift store find. I love to collect ironstone. There's just nothing like the patina. I also grabbed this fun little pitcher, and I couldn't quite make out what the markings said on bottom. It was $2, so kind of pricey, but I just love collecting white pieces like this that I can put into my corner cabinet. So let me kind of share that with you next. This corner cupboard was actually a Facebook Marketplace find. I got it for $85, I think. Which was, I remember, a lot for us at the time. I remember thinking, oh, this is kind of expensive, you know, and now that I've shopped for different corner cabinets, I'm like, oh my goodness, what a great price this was, the scallop detail at the top. Now, I painted it this color. You can find the blog post over on my blog if you're interested in learning about that. But the false graph that I was telling you about, so that giant bowl that I was sharing with you, I collect the white heritage false graph. I don't know what it is about this particular pattern. It's not like it's super old. I think I have a whole blog post written about it. I did all this research on it, but I just really love kind of the bone white color that it has, the thickness of it, the beautiful clean lines. But you can see here that I've incorporated a mixture of ironstone, some of the more yellow pieces with my false graph. And I just kind of, as I find pieces that I love, I put them in this corner cabinet. Now, you guys know that my kitchen is filled with thrifted items. Even these glass containers where I store my flour and my oats, I've gotten some of those at thrift stores. Yes, some of them I've purchased brand new, but some of them I grabbed while thrifting. And yeah, I do have some antique items. The pitcher right next to the sink, which I love, was an antique store find. I believe I paid $25 for it though, so nothing astronomical, but it's just such a beautiful piece. I love the flower pattern. But even, I don't know, sometimes you might go to a thrift store just thinking about home decor specifically, but all of the kitchen items, like the tools that I use, are thrifted. The bowl that I just pulled the bread out of was thrifted. I'm always looking for glass bowls, mixing bowls, things like that. I'll show you some of my favorite thrifted utensils that I've actually scored over the years. So I'm just gonna get this bread in the oven here soon. And again, I know you can't see a whole lot in the background of this shot, but the little stoneware bowls next to the mixer, those were both thrifted. I love looking for those. I keep like avocado and sometimes just in the summertime we get tons of tomatoes from neighbors, and we like to grow little cherry tomatoes as well, so I'll use those on the countertop for things like that. All of the rolling pins that you see in the background were thrifted. The little egg container there was thrifted. As I do some dishes here and continue to tidy up the kitchen, so much of what I see was thrifted. The little crock that holds all of my dish scrubbers, that was thrifted. The ironstone dish that holds the soap was actually my grandfather's. But some of the, even some of the dishes in the sink were thrifted. The little cast iron, my little cast iron there next to the sink, I use that all the time to melt butter because we don't have a microwave. So, that's constantly being used. That was a $2 thrift store find. The baskets above the fridge, just so much throughout my home, was thrifted. And even on this other side of the kitchen, the crocks that I keep my spoons in were thrifted. The little crock that the plant is in was thrifted. A lot of those cutting boards were thrifted. Even the peg rack above was thrifted. So I thought that I would show you a few of my favorite kitchen utensils that I've scored over the years at thrift stores. I just love, like I said before, beauty and the mundane. And if I can use tools that just put a smile on my face rather than, plastic. Even, this little sifter, I love to sprinkle powdered sugar over French toast and things like that. And I love this flipper for pancakes. This one is great, especially when, when you're cooking with cast iron. It's nice to have a good strong spatula. But yeah, so just wanted to share that with you guys as you go out thrifting. Don't just look for home decor. Look for different tools that you can use throughout your home to really just make those mundane chores a little bit more beautiful. Now here we are back in the dining room. I'm just kind of cleaning up here and wiping the table down because it's dirty from lunchtime. Now you can see the shelves behind me. We built those shelves, my husband did, and those shelves are filled with false graph. The heritage, now there's several different false graph designs, but I love to collect the heritage white, and I have a whole blog post about those if you're interested in learning more about them. can see I'm laughing at my son being silly here. But I just wanted to show those to you. Actually, the little, the green table behind me was a Facebook Marketplace find. So was the mirror above it. The crock that the plant is sitting in was thrifted, and everything on the shelves, almost everything was thrifted. There might be a few antique store finds up there, but the majority of it was thrifted. So I hope that encourages you guys that you can really decorate your home. It takes more time, it takes a lot of patience, but you can really decorate your entire home with thrift store items. So let's pull this bread out of the oven. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it encouraged you to start doing some thrifting of your own. Like I said, it doesn't all come at once, and I don't always find stuff when I go. Sometimes it's just a few items, sometimes it's a lot, but you really can find some beautiful things at thrift stores. So the bread turned out quite beautiful. I don't know if it's my favorite design, but it's really neat. Isn't it cool? My husband was impressed when he saw it. So I don't know. I thought it turned out really, really cool. And if you'd like to use that recipe, it's on my blog. You can go to my blog and look it up. It's just such a simple sourdough bread recipe. So thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope this video encouraged you. I hope it makes you want to go thrifting. And anyways, I always appreciate all of your comments and love. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.